In the mechanics of social media, there is a single metric that outweighs all others, forcing a viewer to stay on a video long enough that the retention rate actually crosses the 100% mark. Achieving that requires solving a very specific problem. You have to figure out how to get a human being holding a device with an infinite feed of alternative options to watch the exact same video twice in a row without realizing they've done it. This document, a master tutorial from a channel called Labia, details an experiment built to solve this exact problem. They called it the retention trap. The experiment relies on a simultaneous psychological attack. You hit the viewer's primal instincts to stop their thumb and immediately engage their intellectual ego so they can't scroll away. This strategy is designed to test if passive physical attraction and active mental engagement can be synchronized to make viewer behavior entirely predictable. Capturing attention in this environment starts with the creation of hyper-realistic human faces, meticulously generated through AI platforms like Magnific. The high-definition details in the skin texture and the lighting are highly deliberate. The brain assesses authenticity in a fraction of a millisecond. If it passes this internal fake detector, the viewer accepts the subject and pauses. A slow, continuous camera zoom then pulls the viewer closer. Moving from a wide shot to a tight focus prevents immediate sensory overload, gently guiding the eye toward a specific target on screen. Visuals alone don't hold the audience. They paralyze the scrolling thumb. They buy just enough time for the trap to engage. While the eyes are locked, the audio track introduces cognitive friction, a method of sharply disrupting that passive viewing state. The creators generated a synthetic voice using ElevenLabs, reducing the stability settings so it breathes naturally. They directed it to sound confident and distinctly arrogant, aiming directly at the viewer's pride. In this section of the script, the voice announces that 99% of people get distracted and can't solve the challenge in time. This triggers an immediate reflex to prove that you are the exception. Immediately after that claim, a logic puzzle appears on the screen, instructing the viewer to connect matching colored dots without letting any of the lines cross. You go from looking at an attractive model to intensely solving a spatial puzzle in less than 3 seconds. That abrupt pivot from physical attraction to active problem-solving locks the brain into a state of deep concentration. This CapCut timeline maps the trap mathematically. An 8-second text and voice hook establishes rules. Then text cuts out, signaling concentration. 2 seconds later, the voice stops and music swells, starting a countdown. The final 8 silent seconds provide insufficient time to solve the puzzle. Because the video is only 19 seconds long, it ends right as the viewer is actively attempting to trace the final lines. The timeline intentionally denies them a resolution, so the algorithm loops the video from the beginning while they are still trying to finish the game. Beyond the psychological editing, there is an entire layer of hidden metadata driving the video's distribution without cluttering up the visual aesthetic. The creators detailed an invisible SEO tactic here in the document. They typed out a dense block of keywords like logic test and mental puzzle using the native app tools, then dragged that text box completely off the margins of the screen. The viewer sees nothing, but the platform's search engine still indexes every word. By embedding the platform's most popular trending song at only 1% volume, the video can harness massive traffic streams while keeping the main puzzle audio perfectly clear. Controlling the algorithm at this level requires simultaneously manipulating the psychology of what the human is looking at and the unseen code that the machine is reading. This 19-second experiment serves as a universal template for modern content creation. You can apply this exact structural blueprint to entirely different topics. You could layer subtle, engaging humor over top of dense scientific data to capture an entirely new demographic. Or you could combine sleek, high-end automotive visuals with complex mechanical trivia, creating a new trap tailored specifically for gearheads. Competitive content creation now requires the active engineering of human cognitive biology. Producers are moving beyond simple entertainment toward a model of psychological engineering, building in...
El 99% de la gente se distrae y no logra resolver esto a tiempo. El reto es simple. Conecta los puntos del mismo color en tu mente sin que las líneas se crucen. ¿Eres capaz de verlo antes de que acabe el vídeo? Pausa si lo necesitas. Y dime en los comentarios si lo lograste.